Hey folks, we are on air. We are live. I am here today. I am talking with Scott Greenstone, who is a TC in Gmail, Inbox, just to name a few. He's got like about 6 or 7 other ones, but I'll get to that in just a second. I just want to kind of tell everybody what I'm starting to do is every Wednesday night I'm going to start doing these Hangouts so we can talk about different things and let people out there learn a little bit and learn directly from top contributors. Google has top contributors that we meet and go once or twice a year, or every 2 years, once every year or every 2 years, depending on the event that is held. But I wanted to do this with some of our top contributors, get them out there, get them known. And Scott, so I asked him again, and here he is. Scott, say hello to everybody and tell everybody a little bit about what you do and as far as the top contributor program.
Sure. Hey, thanks, Michael. I'm Scott Greenstone. I'm TC as in Inbox and Gmail, as Michael said, as well as Project Fi, Calendar, Google Play, Duo, and Pixel. I guess
hey, we should have listed the ones that you don't do.
Yeah, it's probably easier. I'm also a mentor for the overall program as well as in individual products. So I'm helping shape the future of the TCs, so making sure that they know what they're doing before they become a rising star. And that's actually been really exciting to see them grow and blossom.
I agree. I'm also part of that group, and I have to agree with you. The other thing is, too, keep in mind, we're going to use abbreviations sometimes throughout this whole thing. Some of you that are new and never heard of stuff, like TC is what we call top contributor. Please ask questions. Ask as many questions over there in the unified chat as you want to. As Scott goes along today, he'll answer all kinds of stuff. I might not break him. I mean, he's going to get on a roll. He's going to start talking and everything. I'm going to try not to interrupt him unless it's pertinent to what we're talking about at that particular moment. Because if it's pertaining to that, I think it would be relative, and I'll throw that up there. So here we go. So let's get right at it, Scott. I'm going to go ahead and let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, I'll share mine first, because mine's very limited, doesn't have a lot of features because I don't use it. And he knows this about me. He's been on me a lot about this. But we're going to go ahead and get right at it. And let me get into this. Let me switch over to this screen. Okay, here we go. Here's the inbox screen. This is on an account that I don't use too much. And it's very limited, but it's right there. And we'll go ahead and start there. So I'm going to take off my lower third so it doesn't block it. Okay, good. There we go. All right. Scott, walk us through a little bit of what we're looking at here.
So the first thing that is really important for people to know about Inbox and Gmail is they're using the exact same data. The only difference between the two is that they're different front ends. And there's some difference in capabilities, but for the most part, everything is the same. It's just look and feel for the majority. I saw some early on questions about somebody uses labels a lot, and Inbox uses a concept called bundles. Why they did that, I can't answer, but essentially bundles are the same thing as labels. The big difference there is in Gmail you can have nested labels, and in Inbox you cannot. When I first started using Inbox, I took a leap of faith, and I had over 100 labels in my inbox, in my Gmail, and I decided to delete every single one of them.
Wow.
And for about 2 nights, I had trouble sleeping, which is a little scary that because of an email program, I couldn't sleep. But I started relying on the power of search in Inbox, which is the same as in Gmail, but I find things much easier by just searching for them than digging and trying to figure out what label or bundle I put them in. I have since created some bundles more for the TC program, so when they come into my inbox, they're grouped by what topic they should be. So I have a bundle for each product that I'm a TC in, so I don't have to figure out from deeply reading in the email what product they're asking a question about.
Right, that's great. I mean, that's really probably convenient too. as far as that goes. Hey, I'm going to pull up, since you brought that one up, it was me that actually put that in there. I use labels and organize accordingly using labels. It is a feature in Inbox, and it does not have a place in labels, and you just answered it. So I like to try and bring the comments up as we go. That way I can eliminate them as we go as well.
Okay, great.
And I'm a huge label fan. I'll be honest with you. I love using labels. I use them religiously, kind of probably like you did, like you used to. But I think search is not a bad thing, because Google's a pretty good search company from what I understand.
It's great. And what I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen now, if I can.
Sure.
I'm going to show you some features of the bundles. And you can see my screen now?
I can.
Okay. So this is what the menu looks like. I'll get into some snoozed and done and everything else, and you'll see some icons here that not everybody has. I've actually customized mine with some Chrome extensions that I've written by adding a quick link to some quick things I get to easily. But let's find a label. These are the system labels that come stock with the system. You can't change what goes. You can't remove them. You can't change their name. They're similar to the tabs at the top in Gmail if you're using tabbed inbox.
Okay, so what you're looking at there is social, updates, forums, and what is that last one? Promos?
And there's also purchase and finance, which if you don't see some of these in Gmail, there is a Gmail lab that will add these to Gmail. So for some people who go back and forth between inbox and Gmail, it's a necessary thing. But I'll come into the settings for one of them, and you'll see here you can turn them off to bundle in the inbox or not. So if you just want them to just never be in your inbox, you can, or you can set how often they come in your inbox as each message arrives, once a day at 7 a.m. or once a week at 7 a.m. So this is just another account that I'm using that doesn't have a lot of emails in it. But for example, my promos, I only show once a day at 7 a.m. I don't want to get bothered with them. And then I can quickly select them all and get rid of them.
Quick question while we're on this.
Yeah.
Is that customizable? Like, you know how it is, like filters you can use to send it to social and things like that. Is that done this through here as well, or is that possible?
I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
Let's take this email.
If I'm jumping ahead, just kick.
No, that's fine. This email was just for signing in. If you want to move it to any label or bundle, I should say, you would just click this button here, and you pick the one you want. So let's say we want it to always go to social. I'll click social, and it'll tell me, do I always want to do this? And yes, I would. And then it'll teach it. So right now I don't have any custom labels.
Right. I got you. So you went in the particular email that came up. That was in your regular inbox, right? That was a regular email in your inbox, and you hit the 3 dots in the top right of that particular email.
Right.
And then that pulled up where you could actually put that, so that it starts to learn and build where it's going to go for that particular thing.
Correct. And nice. I'll show you something different. So there's a notes bundle, which is a custom one that I made. I can automatically add emails. Let's say I want to. Oh, I don't have you in this account.
That's fine.
So I'm going to create this, and every time an email comes in from our family account, it's now in here, and you can see it'll go right into that bundle, and inside the inbox, it'll be in a group. But what I'm going to show you that's really neat, for the custom bundles, I'm going to go into Gmail and go into the filters, and you'll see here, it created a filter in Gmail.
Oh, wow. So it created that automatically.
Right.
So if you didn't want to go back to Gmail, you could. It would still be there.
Correct.
As that bundle. Okay, I got
and
you.
If you're switching and you already have a whole bunch that are doing this, those will transfer.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So that's actually a really cool. And then I'm going to delete this one, and we'll go back to. I should probably refresh. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's good. This is good stuff. So you did that under notes? Is that what you were saying?
It was just a bundle that created called Notes that I just did as a test.
Okay, nice.
So.
And you can create bundles. You can create your own. You can't take those off, right? You can't take those off, but you can add ones. Is that what you're saying?
You can't take the system ones off, and the system ones you can tell because they have pretty icons that are color.
Okay,
the ones that are not, so I can just create a new one right here and call it.
Okay.
And I could, right when I create it, it's asking me if I want to automatically add any messages.
Okay, I got you. Nice.
And that is right here now because it defaults to bundle in the inbox. If I turn that off, and it moves it down onto unbundled. And another thing you notice, I cannot turn that on now. Oh, I can.
Oh, yeah.
They changed that. Sorry, I can. It used to be you could not bundle it in the inbox unless you had criteria.
Oh, unless something was in there.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
you could, in essence, you could use this as your label, so to speak, right?
These are labels.
Okay, these are basically labels, but they're called bundles.
Right, so let's go create that one again.
Nice.
Okay, we'll create that. And then I'm going to come to here. Got to refresh. And you'll see that bundle is now a label in Gmail.
Oh, that's very nice. Very nice.
So it's really good for people who want to go back and forth, but I really encourage people that are trying it for the first time to not go back and forth and use Inbox for at least 2 weeks exclusively, or else you really won't get the true sense of it.
Right, I know. You gave me that challenge too, and I had a tough time with it.
You failed.
I failed, that's right.
So
that's really good. Okay, all right, here we go.
My favorite feature in Inbox is the snoozing. So I have this email right here, and I know I have to do something with it on, let's say, Friday. I don't want it in my inbox. I don't care to see it anymore. So I just come here, I click the snooze until, and I can pick some defaults that I have in here, or I can pick a day, and I could pick Friday, 8 a.m. So it's now gone from my inbox, and Friday at 8 o'clock it'll come back and tell me, hey, you got this email.
Now will it show up in your inbox?
Bundle, and it'll tell you all the ones you have and when.
Will that show up in your inbox?
On Friday morning, it'll come back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it'll show in the inbox. Nice.
Yes.
I kind of like that too, because there's a lot of times I'm doing that with my. That's why I have a work bundle that I have certain things that I have to keep close.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So let's say Friday you go to look at that. You can re-snooze it, right, for the weekend.
And actually, one of the techniques that I've been using to get to inbox zeros is I'm snoozing it. And then I find if I snooze it 3 times, it means I really don't need to do anything with it.
That's interesting.
Just mark it done.
Now, when it's done, it doesn't delete it or trash it or anything,
no,
right?
When it's done is very similar to archiving.
Okay.
In Gmail. It basically takes it out of the inbox and puts it in this done bundle. Everything here that you're done with. And you'll see it'll also be bundled. If it's a purchase, if all the promos are in here. The difference between, no, that's not really a difference. It's the same now. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
So it functions very similar.
Also, I see it's done chronologically. It looks like.
That's the problem that people have. It's chronologically, excuse me, by when you marked it as done, not when
I
it's
see.
received.
Oh, I see. So yeah,
So
that could be
it
an
throws
issue.
people off. However, if you wanted to see everything in the order it was received, even if it's done, all you would do is just search in all, and now it's in the order it's received.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Another
Nice.
great function of
Hey, real quick, I got a question out there, so I'm gonna throw this up there. It's John says, how much does this apply to Android? Does all of this exact same thing apply to Android? Is basically his question.
Don's got a great question, and it's one of the best features of Inbox. Everything is identical, Android and desktop, and even I'm pretty sure it's really close in iOS.
Nice.
So any setting that
That's
you
convenient.
change,
That's very convenient.
yeah. If you change a setting on any one of those platforms, it changes it on all.
That's nice. Very nice.
It's a great feature. Another feature that is really good is the trips feature. If you get a flight, a hotel, a car rental, it automatically bundles all those emails related to that trip into a nice little package. I don't know if any of you guys have started to use the new Android app called Google Trips. It's basically based on this functionality. And you'll see it gives you a nice little top, your high-level flight details, and then underneath is all the emails related to this trip.
Wow, that's really cool.
So what's nice is when you mark it done, it leaves your inbox. When you get an email saying, hey, it's time to check in, it comes back into your inbox. And then it'll tell you up here if this was a upcoming, like a really close trip, it'll tell you the on-time status of the flight.
Very nice. Very convenient.
Yeah, it's very convenient. The only downside is it's not really easy to modify. I mean, you can't. You actually cannot change. So if it makes a mistake based on some information in the parsed email.
Right. Gotcha.
In theory, you cannot change that. Like, you can't change the name. You can't change the dates.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I have discovered that if you change that information in the app Google Trips, it will change it in Inbox.
Okay, I got you.
So I've actually have changed this in the past for me because I don't like this image. So I changed the location to where I'm actually going because this is where my flight is, but I actually go to Sanibel Island. So if I change the name and location to trip to Sanibel, it'll change the image to something better.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. What else? Let me see. I'm going to my thing, but I don't want you to see some things.
That's fine. That's fine. Meanwhile, I'm going to ask a question that I had earlier too. I use multiple inboxes. Does Inbox support this? This is something I do. I have work. I have something like my little league that I work with, and then I have my leisure.
Have
whatever.
them separately.
Yes, I have three separate in my Gmail. I have three separate inboxes for each one of those.
All right, so you log into one account and then you have three inboxes.
That's correct. It's an add-on from the labs.
Okay, you can sort of kind of do that.
Okay.
If you set it up as a fetch, so you have your main michael@gmail.com, and then you have that's the one you're logging into, and you set up michael@work.com as a fetch account. That will work in Inbox, and you could even set that. You can even set that to automatically label or bundle.
Bundle, yeah.
A different bundle, so you know that your work emails.
Wow. Okay.
And if you also in Gmail, now you have to set all this up in the Gmail settings under sorry, under here, accounts and import.
Right.
You know what? I'm going to show you here on my account, and then I'll show you. So I've got all these send as accounts, right? I don't happen to bundle them differently, and then I'm also checking these other accounts here.
Right.
So in here, if I go to create an email,
it's going to ask you which one you want to.
I just click on the from, and all of them are here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I can, and it honors the reply to that you set. So if you're set to, you know, where is it? When replying here, if you keep this, reply to the same address that.
Oh yeah, the same address was sent to. Yeah.
It will continue to do that.
Oh, nice. Nice. And so, or you could have that set to select from another one if you wanted to, correct?
I think you can only do the main one, or
okay, default address. Okay, default address or the one you sent it from. Okay, I got
right.
you. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I hope we're not confusing anybody out there. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to answer. Zara had a good question as well. She said, "Say that again. Labels transfer from Gmail."
Yes, labels transfer from Gmail.
So when you create a bundle, it goes as a label on Gmail. But if you create a label on Gmail, does that go to inbox?
I will show you.
Okay, perfect.
It will, because anything you do at either one will show in the other one. So I'm going to create a new label, and I'm going to name this. I'm not even sure if I spelled that right. So you see here, I've got this new one. Yep. I'm going to come here. I'm going to refresh. Now just so everybody knows, it is a little bit slow sometimes when refreshing, but you'll see here, Rumpelstiltskin's now here.
There it is. Okay, so this doesn't take any existing labels. It won't take, correct?
Yeah, it will.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But if you notice, you let's say I took this one and I'm going to nest it under notes.
Right.
You see how these are nested, and you'll see them over here nested?
Yep.
And what it does is it basically doesn't nest it, it kind of makes it a list.
Oh, I see.
So you'll see notes and then Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
And you can't, and the longer it is, you can't see it because you cannot make this bigger.
I got you. So it separates it out. I see. Okay.
Correct.
So that probably, I mean, that's kind of quirky and probably doesn't work as well. I'm sure on mobile it's probably a little bit better.
Not really. It's the same.
Oh, really? Is it the same? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because sometimes they do that with mobile. It seems to, it separates, but you can read more of the text.
Yeah, not with inbox.
Okay, good. All right, let's see here. This is Zara saying, "Thank you, Michael. Super cool. One Gmail account has many labels since the beginning of Gmail." So yeah, so basically those.
I'm curious how many.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there is a limit.
Okay.
And
he did show the list. She asked if you would show the list, but you already did, I believe. So
okay. Yeah, so I think there's a limit in both Gmail and inbox of how many, but I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure the limit is the same. I've never gotten to it. So if you haven't hit the limit, you should be good. The only issue you might run into is the nesting, if you use nesting.
Okay. She says she hadn't hit the limit yet, so she's good. At least that's what she said anyway. So, all right, let's on to the next thing. What you got? What else? Something else? Because I know you can. One thing that's really interesting I notice in Inbox, and I don't know if this is pertaining to anything, but I see the Hangout up there.
Yeah. You can get to your Hangouts right here, and you can even keep them open all the time.
Oh,
I don't recommend that.
Okay.
It bogs down Chrome very much.
Okay, I got you.
Another cool feature that a lot of people don't know about is this is a floating action button, this red plus. If you hover over it, it gives you your frequency. So you can quickly email somebody you have, or you can quickly create a reminder. So I want to remember paying my bills. And then I'm going to pick a date, and I'll do it for this weekend. And it's going to come back and tell me on Saturday at 8 a.m. But let's make that a little bit more interesting. And in calendar, I will go to the correct calendar, and you'll see Saturday as soon as it's done. Oh, I have to show the reminder, sorry. There it is. It shows up on your calendar.
Nice.
And the reminders, if you create a reminder in calendar,
yeah,
it'll come and remind you in Inbox.
Nice.
Same thing with reminders in Google Now.
Right.
Or, okay. Reminders that you set to Google Keep.
Oh yeah, great. Because I do use that.
Yeah, it really has a good. They finally brought the reminders into an integrated thing. The other thing is you'll notice right now I have what's called saved, and that's a relatively new bundle that they created. And if you have there's an extension, an inbox extension, that if you get, and let's say I wanted to copy this URL,
right?
I come back here. You'll see now that when I come here, I now have a link. So I can now paste that link right into Inbox, or automatically shared by email. So I use it kind of as something I might need to reference later.
Okay, now how did you? I lost a little bit there. Do that again, or say that again, or whatever. That was interesting, but
so
I'm following you.
And it's kind of like a new way of bookmarking, but without using groups. Like I have all these groups for my bookmarks.
Right.
So if you have, as long as you have that extension, you copy a URL. So I'm highlighting this and copying it.
Okay.
And coming back to
Inbox.
And now hold on.
Come to the right inbox.
Shouldn't matter. I might not have hit copy.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it from the extension. So I come here and I go save to inbox. And you see it's saved to inbox, and I'll come back here. Oh, you know why? It's in here. It went to my main one.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't matter which account you're on, okay.
Yeah, so if I come back to the inbox, you'll see it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta get out of there real quick.
No problem.
It's a nice feature. Actually, I'll go quick down here.
Saved.
And you'll see all the ones that I've saved. I've got my resume.
Okay.
And just a couple of things that I want to reference regularly.
Okay.
It's a nice feature that you can do by extension, and it also works in Android.
Okay. Nice. That is a nice feature.
Yeah. And everything else works very similar to to Gmail, it's just a different look and a different flow that you have to get used to. Once you get used to that, it just flies. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell you.
You can freeze this menu on the left-hand side too, so it always comes up, right? Because
this one is always here. You can hide it though.
Oh, okay, so if you leave it on, then it's always on. Okay,
it's always on. It used to kind of show up when you kind of came to the edge, and it was really annoying.
Right, I can see that.
I'm going to put some things back into my inbox because I want to. Oops. I know. That's what I want to show them. So there's another feature that's called pinning, which is a big. I happen to not use it. It's kind of very similar to starring, but also very different from Gmail. And I never really used star, so I didn't take to pinning. But let's say I want to pin this. It's going to keep it in the inbox all the time, no matter. So let me get another. Let me go back in here real quick and get. Here, I've got 5 updates. I'm going to bring all these back to the inbox.
You just pin them from there, can't you?
I can, but I want to show just one.
Okay. Okay.
So here, you see this updates bundle. There's 5 emails. I want to pin this one for whatever reason. And I'm done with all the other ones.
Okay.
I can just hit this little button here, the checkbox with the 3 stripes.
Okay.
And it'll tell me what I'm doing because it's the first time I'm doing it here. But it gets rid of all of those.
Except for that one.
Well, no. Why did it? It got rid of all. It's not supposed to. Oh, no, it did. Here it is. It's still here. It just took. What it does is it takes it out of the bundle while it's pinned.
Okay, I see.
And so it's still here. You could also just show, let's say you're one that uses a lot of pinning, you can just show the pinned emails. And it's showing, I pinned 2 of them, that's why. It's all unpinned. So it's showing everything that's pinned, and then I could show everything.
Right, gotcha.
One thing that, if you don't use pinning, but this button is good for, is making a do not disturb.
Oh, so it only
see any emails that come in.
Oh, I see.
Even if they come in now, you won't see them until you undo that.
Oh,
so it's a way of like not being bothered for a little bit. I mean, an easier way is just close the tab, but.
Now, when you pin that to just pinned, does that do it on your mobile as well? At the same time?
You know what? That's a good question, and I don't know, and I don't have my phone with me.
Okay.
I've never, because as I said, I don't really use the pinning. But I know others that swear by it.
Okay.
But to me, pinning is.
But they don't like having a zero. They don't have a zero inbox there.
Right. I mean, I'm almost always at inbox 0. Like my account right now here isn't, because I've been with you guys for a while.
Right, got you.
But you'll see, I just have some test emails, and then just all of my bundles are specific to being a TC. I have no other personal bundles.
Okay. I'm going to bring up one that we had earlier when Dan was in. He said, why aren't there add-ons for inbox like we have for Gmail?
I'm sorry, I lost that.
No, that's fine. Why aren't there add-ons for inbox like we have for Gmail?
Such as?
Well, I don't know.
Dan's gone.
I know he's gone, but
if he's meaning like extensions, there's I have a list on my website of about, I think it's about 30 extensions that work in inbox that are specific to inbox.
let me see if like in labs, I think he's talking about the labs add-ons.
Yeah, those do not. It's been asked for a lot, but it's never happened.
Okay.
I just want to get a link to something real quick.
No, you're fine. And I don't know that for sure if that's what he was asking, but
Right. It seems like it would be.
Yeah.
So I just want to put this in the chat.
Ted says the same thing. He said, I think Dan was referring to labs. That's what I was thinking as well.
Oh, that's too long. Am I not logged in?
And John says, Inbox does seem confusing compared to Gmail. That's why I hardly use it. Okay. Well, it's something new. I don't know that.
It is. It's not confusing. It's just different. It's not what you're used to. Yep. And that it's kind of why people have trouble with it. Especially people who have been using Gmail forever. It's extremely different from Gmail, and it almost seems like Gmail's stuck in the, I don't want to say 80s because I don't think email was around in the 80s. But I can understand why people would be hesitant, but once they get using it, it becomes much easier and much more natural to use.
Right.
It basically turns your emails into tasks, and really that's what they are for almost everyone.
That's true. If you think about it, I mean, a lot of people you have a task to do usually after an email or something that they're giving you some kind of information. That's the only other thing that, or a form or something like that. So, yeah.
Right.
So Inbox, in your opinion, versus Gmail, because you are a TC for Gmail as well.
Correct.
So your opinion, if you had to compare the two, what is a benefit that you would say is from, and you can stop screen sharing unless you want to. It's up to you. What do you, in your opinion, here's a practice for this person using Inbox. Here's a practice for this person using Gmail. How would you define that?
Well, for me, I've never in my life been able to get to Inbox 0 with Gmail. And I've been doing it every day since the second or third week of having Inbox. And to me, that's a huge change in life.
Yeah, and it puts, I think one thing that I like about and the reason I think that is too, Scott, I think it's because of the snooze feature for one thing. You can move stuff to when it's pertinent or when it's necessary.
Exactly.
I think that's a key thing, because that's the only reason I don't hang on to much in my inbox either, but it's something that I have hanging. For example, I'll just give you an example. When we had our trip out to California, I held that information up there because I wanted it in my face all the time, because when it got closer, it would be pertinent and relevant. So that'd be a perfect instance of where that would be hidden in inbox, right?
Right. What I did was I just added all the TC, the meetup emails to the trip that was created by my flight. So that was all together.
That's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, see, I could have done that too. Okay, here's one from Ted. Scott, can you touch on search real quick? I think this is a powerful feature of Inbox that helps people who are worried about losing their emails feel safe.
Sure. I'm going to share my screen again. And it's just I type anything. I'll type, and it will give me everything that meets that. So this came from that address. And it basically uses every kind of search that Gmail does. So if you reference the Gmail advanced search, you can do that, all those features in here. So I can do in promos, and all the emails from promos come up. But
So any shortcut you can use in Gmail works in here. It's just you have to know those. I mean, you do have to know some of that stuff to get to those kind of things and understand those things.
Unlike Gmail, it doesn't have an advanced search drop-down box.
Right, gotcha.
So you'll see in the search here, you can...
Right. Yep.
Which it doesn't have.
Right. So you're going to have to know a lot of that stuff.
Right. But if I wanted to find all my unread, everything comes up. Or if I wanted to see everything that is read,
right,
those all show up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Or I can do is reminder.
So does it also go to the ones you named?
I have negative. Oh, I don't have any reminders in here.
Like the one Michael that you named or whatever, would it find in that bundle as well?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, okay.
Yeah.
So it searches everything.
But if you wanted to limit it to the search to just Michael, I could do in Michael.
Right.
Or, well, let's do notes because I don't have Michael anymore. I could do in notes Scott, and anything that was named that had Scott in it would show up. That's only in that folder or bundle.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
A nice thing that we'll do reminders. We'll go here. I can do is reminder, negative is done, and that'll find all my pending reminders.
While you're right there, stay right there.
Mm-hmm.
Zara asked, does search within an email text? So if you said the word pixel, would it find pixel in any email? The word pixel in any email? There you go. There's all your emails with pixel. There you go.
Oh, and my order.
And your order for a pixel. There you go. Wow. That's wonderful. That is really nice.
Yeah, so it's got the same power as the search in Gmail.
Okay. She has on here, example, client Bob mixes topics and email streams. Somewhere I answered a question. And then she also replies back with fantastic thank you, because I think we answered her question. But
gotcha.
That was good. One thing here, John mentions in Gmail, I use starred a lot. My work schedule comes to me by email.
So here's the thing with starred. Where's my... I'm going to star one. I starred this one, new sign-in from the Huawei 6P. The only thing you can do is you could search for a starred. You don't have any indication that it's starred in the email. However, it comes up in the search.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I know a lot of people that have complained that if they have a long thread, they're using Conversation View in Gmail, they can star individual messages within the thread.
Right, right.
And you can't do anything similar to that in Gmail.
Okay, so that's a good...
I'm sorry, inbox.
Right, right. That brings up a great point that I have a question on since you just mentioned it. You know how you have threaded Gmails?
Conversation threading?
Yeah, conversations.
You can turn them off. You can turn them off in Gmail. You cannot turn them off in Inbox or on mobile.
So it's always continuous conversation in Inbox.
Right.
Okay. I'm just making sure I got that. Andrew does he says, I like the invisible star. That's neat.
Yeah. And Ted's comment is correct. You could replace
filter all your work schedule emails to go to a bundle.
Right. So I have people that actually, I know people that are kind of using the getting things done method with email and they have bundles today, 1 day, 2 day, like when they have to do these things. Instead of using the snooze for that purpose, they actually create bundles and then.
Okay, I see. Then go to that day.
Right. But that to me, like, if you put it in the one for 2 days from now,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow, shouldn't that automatically become tomorrow?
It doesn't though, right?
It doesn't. That's why the
Yeah.
snoozing to me is better.
Snooze is more convenient. And you can take screen share off too, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh.
No, that's good to know too, because because that makes total sense, because I have done that with the separate inboxes. I used to do that. I said, this is something that's really important. This is stuff that can wait, but I do need to see it. And then here, I did a lot of stuff like that. Here's something related to my little league thing I'm doing. Here's something related to work, and I'd have all those different inboxes that helped me, because it was always in my face. I could see all 4 of those. They were all right there all the time. So I saw it in my face, kind of thing.
Right.
But I like the idea of snooze, because I might have to try this. You're talking me more and more into that, just because of that feature alone, because that's the way I use it. It's a to-do list kind of thing.
Right.
And a lot of times I push things. I say, okay, I don't need that yet, but I need it here, or I need to check this, or whatever. I guess the only fear that I have, and this is just me speaking, I'm not talking for everybody, but the only fear I have is if I push it to 2 days and this now becomes relevant today or tomorrow, and I don't look at it because it's not in my face.
But how do you find out that it becomes relevant tomorrow? Probably not email to that thread.
Yeah, well, okay,
and
let me give you an example.
If you snoozed it to next week and you get another email on that thread tomorrow,
okay,
it comes back to the inbox.
Okay, I got you.
And you can re-snooze it to when you had it, or...
Okay, that's a great thing to know. This is fantastic. So what you're saying, okay, let's say, for example, Bob Smith from ABC Company. I'm supposed to go visit him next Friday. So I put that, and I put it in Thursday because I wanted that to remind me that I got to do that. Okay, it's just as a reminder, or snooze it.
Right.
So I do that. He calls me up. He says, look, or he sends me another email, and he says, hey, look, I can do this Wednesday. I just had an opening. Can you come by Wednesday? By getting that email, you're saying that because it's on that same thread or conversation, it's going to come back in my inbox.
Correct.
Awesome.
And if it's not in the same conversation, so you just snooze the new one to the day you want it.
Oh, right. Exactly.
And if he calls you and tells you, then it should trigger your mind to go look for that original email that you snoozed.
So then I just type in his name in search, find it that way, go get it, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Wow. Google does have a pretty good search thing going on that they started a little while ago. No, I'm just kidding.
They're good at that.
Yeah, that's right.
In some things, not others. I'm trying to search for something in calendar. Woo.
Oh, I know. John, there you go. Interesting. And you're right. It is interesting. I like that's what I have to, for me, it has to become a flow and a process as a useful tool. Right now with work, Gmail is a very useful tool for me.
Right.
And I like that. I like the reminders thing too.
It's just a front end. It's the same data. That's what you got to remember.
Yeah. Yep. That's very, very nice. Good stuff. Yeah. What else? Any other secrets? I mean, we've been over a half hour, and I try to keep it at a half hour. We've been about 15 minutes over or more. But no, listen, that's what this is for. We'll do this again, you know?
Yeah. And the good thing to know is just about any question you will come up with has already been answered on my website.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Zara says, wow, this is an awesome discussion, and thank you, Scott and Michael. Of course, no problem at all. And this is the first time Inbox has made sense to me, which is very good. I mean, that's good too. That's important. Very good stuff. Yep, exactly. Scott did put his there's his website, so you guys can go check him out. Scott is extremely useful and very helpful. I reach out to him all the time. We actually kind of reach out to each other whenever we have questions about certain things or what we want to do. So, folks, anytime you want to come back to this, anybody, and tell anybody, we're going to try and do this like every Wednesday. Like I said, next week I think we're going to feature Ted as offered to talk about spreadsheets. So Ted Juk, who's out there in the audience right now, I think I'm pronouncing your name not right. If I'm not, just yell at me, okay? But He's going to come in and do spreadsheets next Wednesday, so we're going to plan on that unless something comes up. But I'll keep everyone posted. This is good information, and Scott, I appreciate you thank you so much for taking time out and talking to us. There are more people registered, so when you guys come back and watch this, be ready for this kind of thing coming every Wednesday, and we're open to any discussion. Everything that's in here, when you come in later and you rewatch this, you can still leave comments. So leave comments over in the chat, and I will get an email saying that something's been answered, and I'll refer it to Scott and have him get back in touch with you personally.
Oh, good. That's good to know. I was going to ask you how that.
Yep. No problem whatsoever. And Scott, again, thank you so much for taking time out. You don't have to leave. We'll chat in the green room once I shut down the broadcast. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, folks. And if anybody out there, if you're in, it looks like everybody signed in with a Google account. If you want to come in and talk with Scott one-on-one in here, we're in the green room afterward. I'm just shutting it off because of time for the video and everything, but you're welcome to come in for a little bit. He'll hang around for a little bit. I'm speaking for him. I hope he will, but if not, I'll talk to you and whatever we need to do there, but please feel free to come in. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast again. Scott, thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you.